What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Mike Motivation. Today's topic is outliving the inner city mindset. To anybody who lives in the inner city, I don't know who I'm making this for, but I come to let you know that you can outlive the inner city mindset, that survival mode, that survival tactic, survival habits. You can outlive it. I had to outlive it. Grew up in inner city, Southwest Little Rock to be exact. Grew up in there. But as I started to get exposed to things outside of Southwest, I realized something, that there is more to life than living in the inner city. There are other things out there that you can do, other things out there that can help you elevate, can give you the capital, and just can make you an overall better person by just exposing yourself to positive things, things that can help you get to the next level. But you have to be aware and you have to be open and flexible in your mind and thoughts in order to allow that kind of exposure and those things to take place. So the first topic is, I'm gonna say 80% of the teenager's mindset in the inner city could be one of these four categories: money, girls, cars, or the street life. I'm talking from a man perspective. Let me know in the comments, what is it for women? But for most young men, 80%, uh, when you in high school, graduating, you thinking about money, girls, cars, or the street life. Some people even do all four. Some people do. Just depends where your mindset is. But what I would say is, that's one thing that I'm going to really work to try to change. Is probably going to be my life work. Is to take that 80% down as much as I can. That's why I'm making this content. Because right now I'm currently in school full time, working full time, family man full time. So when I get done with my education, I already have the body of work. Now I just got to go out into the community and have these kids come in after school and just talk to them about life, about the mindset that you got to have going into the adult life. Those four categories: money, girls, cars, and the street life. Sometimes all that stuff is like a fairy tale, man. You have to really put yourself in position to make good moves. It don't just automatically happen. It just don't. Especially coming from the inner city, you definitely got to put yourself in position. Before I just got on to here, I just had an interview to be signed up for an LSAT prep course, and what the LSAT is a test that you got to take to determine that you can get accepted into law school. And I'm telling you, when I was in that 80% when I was younger, I would have never thought in a million years that I could even be in position to go to law school. Would have never thought it. But the title says outlive. You just have to keep living, and you have to try to not put yourself in predicaments, trials, and situations that makes it harder for you to put yourself in position. I know that sounds like a lot, but you just have to learn how to avoid trouble and learn how to live to give yourself an opportunity when they come, and you'll be prepared for it. So, topic number 2 is realizing that you can be great. A lot of times when you're in the inner city, you don't realize or you don't feel it because of the circumstances that a lot of these kids are in. And I think sometimes people play pretend like these kids are not in these circumstances. There are a lot of kids that are in some really tough circumstances and they don't have that person that tells them you can be great. And I'm telling you, you can be great and you can outlive that circumstance, but you have to make up in your mind that you want to do that. Once you make it up in your mind that you want to do that, then you'll start taking on the things of what it would take to do that. You may not be accepted by the crowd once you make up your mind. You may be ostracized once you make up your mind. But when you're striving for greatness, a lot of times, a lot of people just don't want to make that strive or to climb that mountain to be great, because it's a tall mountain to climb. Not everybody want to climb that. So just understanding that you can be great, regardless of your circumstance. You might have to put in a little more work than the other person who probably had the opportunities that you don't have. But you still, your will, that's one thing about living in the inner city. Our willpower can be your greatest advantage. A lot of people don't have that. The will to want to win, the will to want to be great. Because if you've been given everything, you don't never really develop a will because you're used to everything being handed to you. But when you live in the inner city, you got to go get everything that you got. You almost have to, like a hunter, you have to hunt everything that you eat. So it takes a different kind of willpower to do that. Another thing is getting out of the madness and thinking for yourself. A lot of times when you're in survival mode, you're in the inner city, it seems like you're in chaos all the time, everywhere you turn, whether if it's school, whether if it's just outside when you at home, it seems like it's always some madness going on. But if you ever get outside of the inner city and like when I got my first job, I think I was what my first legal job anyway, when I was working at BP, that was in Southwest. But when I got my first legal job working at Baskin Robbins, that was on University. It ain't there now. It was across from the place where I'm going to school at now. It's pretty crazy, but Euler. But working at Baskin Robbins, even though it could still be considered the inner city, but it wasn't in Southwest, you started to meet different kinds of people that wasn't from where you were from. And it kind of showed you that there is more to life than where I'm living at. But you just have to keep living and outlive the madness so you can get to that other place of exposure, because sometimes kids they can't control their environment until they get to a certain age where you can actually put yourself in a different environment. But you have to survive that environment and try to avoid trouble in situations that can hold you back as much as you can, because you can't control the environment that you're in, but you can control what you react to. You can control what you choose to do, and you can control what you get involved in. But you have to slow down and really think about that, because a lot of people, they want to be accepted, they want to be cool, they don't want to be ostracized, they don't want to be talked about. But if you can get past that and understand that's just part of getting out of the madness, you have a mindset and will to be great, you'll start to develop a tough skin and that won't bother you because you know where you're going. You have a path set that you're striving for. And once you set that path, you're going to realize that a lot of people just don't want to go down the path to greatness because it costs something. It costs something to avoid trouble. It costs something to learn something that you never learned before. And one of those words that people use or a phrase, I don't feel like it, that's too hard, and I can't do that. If you tell yourself those three things, I don't feel like it, I can't, that's too hard, you're not going to do it. I'm just telling you from experience. You have to will yourself past those phrases. You have to. If you want to be great. And understand that you can be great even with your struggles. We all struggle at something. Nobody's great at everything. It's just how life works. We all struggle at something. So don't get caught in your struggles. And if you have the will, you can strengthen your struggles. But we all can be great even within our flaws and our struggles. Everybody has them. Everybody's different. Just keep living. Just understand, if you can realize that everybody you deal with, there's some people really good at hiding their struggles and flaws. But if you hang around somebody long enough, you'll start to see them. Not from a judgmental standpoint, but from an objective standpoint, to realize, oh, he struggled with this just like I struggle with this. He may struggle with that. But understand that regardless of your struggles, you can still be great. The next one is believing in yourself. You got to believe in yourself, because sometimes you live in environments where people are not the most encouraging, people are not the most inspiring. Sometimes you just have to believe in yourself, get the information, ask God to give you the wisdom and the strength, and you just got to believe in yourself. There are a lot of career fields that people in the inner city just don't know about. They just don't. And you may know about it, and you have to develop a path, a journey to get there. And people around you may not be privy to that. They might not even want to do that. It's like, man, I don't want to do that. That's what you want to do. I don't want to do that. So you have to believe in yourself. A lot of times the majority of people won't even believe in you until after you get done or get the results of that journey. Like, some people won't believe in you until after you graduate college and they see the results, but they didn't believe in you while you was doing the work, while you was, putting the work in, a night, staying up nights, studying for their semester exam, turning your homework in, while they was doing whatever they was doing. But what I just said on Facebook is, I'm learning at 41, what you do with your time, it can either set you up or it can set you back. It's your choice to how you do it. But you just have to be honest and say, what am I doing with my time? And when you believe in yourself, that's one thing you got to do. You got to be honest with yourself, and you have to hold yourself accountable. A lot of times you'll see a group of people, not everybody, but it's a group of people, they blame everybody else for their failures or things that they couldn't get done, but you never hear them talk about things that they could have did better. It's always somebody else's fault. It's always that person to blame. But what can you do to increase your greatness? What can you do to be better? What can you do? And like I say, being better and believing in yourself, it comes with a cost. There is a cost associated with it. Like I say, for me, wanting to finish school, even though I got a wife and kids, it costs me a lot of free time. To make content, it costs free time. But it's worth it because it's setting me up for something in the future. And not setting me back, just sitting in the house with my feet up on the ottoman, propped up, watching TV. And those things are good. Sometimes you need that relaxation, but do you have to do it for 6 hours straight for 7 days a week? That's all I'm saying. Learn how to invest your time. You may not have the money, but you can invest your time into learning something that can bring you more money, more capital, and then you can invest the capital into providing a better lifestyle for your family. But you have to believe in yourself. Last topic. You have to live long enough to know that there is greater. Very important. You have to live long enough to know that there is greater. And what I mean by that is, you may be 18, 19, 20, and you may feel a certain way now, but if you can avoid the trouble, avoid the madness, and live to about 25, 30, I guarantee you your feelings will change, unless you don't want to change. Some people don't want to change. I get it. But to be accountable, if you don't change, how can you get to better if you just stay in the cocoon? Like a butterfly has to come out of the cocoon in order to change. Even animals, they never stay a cub. A lion has to be a cub and it grows into the lion, it grows its mane. Us as humans, we have to grow as well in order to become great. You can't stay in one place to be great. You have to grow. You have to be able to expand. And if you don't, just don't. But just be accountable. You can't blame somebody else for your individual growth and your individual, what am I trying to say? Your individual abilities and things like that you have to learn and acquire. You cannot blame somebody else for, especially once you turn 18. Once you turn 18, it's on you at that point. Really before that, but I'm gonna give grace. 18 and up, you can't blame somebody else for what you do. It's all you at that point. You can set your own circumstance when you become an adult. You can put yourself in position to make moves. I can't worry about the things that happened before me. I have to worry about the things that's in front of me, and I have to worry about how do I get to that next level. The moment that you start letting stuff go, and the moment that you stop blaming another person for what you do as an individual, I'm telling you, when you live long enough, you will realize that there is greater, but you have to believe in yourself. You have to realize that you can be great. Then you have to get out of the madness and start thinking for yourself. This is Mike. I just wanted to come by and say those few things. I'm signing out. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on the Mike Flair channel. Help me grow. When you help me grow, I won't need to ask nobody for money because the content makes money, and I can invest in things to try to give back in the community. So thanks for watching, and I'm signing out.